This episode is presented in partnership with Mister. Listen, if you can prep for a set, you can prep for your health too. Mister is making it easy with free access to Prep and DoxyPep. Yep, free. No cost, just delivered to you right at your door. Go to Mister.com and get what you need to stay ready.
At that time, that's right after I lost my two friends on the plane with Aaliyah.
Right. Oh,
and then 9/11 happened, and I was just like, okay, it's time to sit down for a minute and just kind of reevaluate what I really wanted to do in life. So then at that point, I was living in LA, and then I moved back to Bakersfield. Like when I played at Soul, for instance, it's like there might be 5 people there, but they'll be on the floor. And then it's like, okay, got them.
Without no drinks in their hands.
Yeah. And when I say that, I mean, being there early, the club, being there early and nobody's there yet.
We never have no empty club.
No, I had a friend who said, would you ever want to move to LA and start working there? And I was like, yeah. So he was like, well, I have a friend. She does a show. I'm going to ask her. And so he contacted her. Her name was Miss Laverne. And so she said, yeah, well, bring him in and I'll try him out. And if he's not good, I'm going to read him. I went in and
satisfied.
Here I am today.
If you could end every set for the rest of your career with just one track, what would it be and why?
Ooh. That I could end in every set. There's a song by an artist by the name of
All right, welcome to Soundcheck with your boy Brandon Anthony, where the beats are deep, the stories are real, and the sound is always front and center. Today's guest is a master of movement, a Los Angeles native and global DJ whose signature blend of funk, disco, and electronic energy creates unforgettable sonic experiences. Whether he's on the decks in LA or moving crowds overseas, DJ Sidney Perry is known for crafting dance floor moments that feel equal parts nostalgic and next level. With seamless mixes, undeniable presence, and a love for the groove that runs deep, he's bringing a soulful perspective to modern-day club culture. Please welcome to the show one of my big brothers, DJ Sidney Perry.
Thank you, Brandon. Thank you very much.
What's up, my brother?
Thank you for that intro.
Very kind words. Of course, man. We had all that on you.
Well, yeah.
Somebody's
been digging.
Always. How you feeling?
Good. Really good. How about yourself?
I'm well. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so before we get into your story, what's bringing you joy right now? Is it musically, creatively, or is it something else?
Definitely music, creatively. Not only do I DJ, but I produce as well. So
nice.
I definitely find an outlet doing that. That keeps me busy, keeps me occupied, and just it keeps me in the groove of what's actually going on as well in the clubs too. I get out and I go, hear other DJs that spin and do their thing and just kind of get a groove of what's going on, keeping my ear to the ground.
Yeah.
Basically.
That's important, right?
It's very important.
Was there a recent set, sound, or moment that reminded you of why you love doing this so much?
Oh, yeah, there's been several. I can definitely recount at playing at Soul, your club.
Yeah.
Oh, man, it's like the crowd there, the sound system there, the energy. It just definitely takes me back to the old school days when house music was the thing. It kind of slipped away for a minute and then it came back on the scene. But now definitely, especially in the Black LGBT community, it's happening.
Yeah, I'm so happy that you're actually a part of the Soul experience because, we've always wanted to work together many times and for many years. And I've always said that, when the pocket fits, I would definitely make sure that I get you on board because I feel like, especially in that soul pocket, like I know that you are like a mastermind in that spot.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? And before I wasn't really so much doing it in, that genre of music, but because as we getting older, I wanted to kind of explore new things, and I knew that you would be the good person to sort of like take us on that journey. You know what I'm saying? And you've been killing it every time.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Appreciate you for having me there, and it's really a good thing to see you doing your thing. And I've been rallying for this for years.
Yeah,
for you.
You have.
But it's all about timing, and the timing wasn't right at that time, and now it is definitely.
Now you can't get rid of me.
Okay, it's all good.
Look, now we know your relationship with music didn't start there, right? Let's take a step back to your roots.
Okay.
When did your journey with music begin, and what genres were in rotation early on?
Wow. Well, I can remember as far back as I can when I was a little kid, my mom would always tell me they used to have a component set. It was like a turntable, but it was built in kind of like a piece of furniture. And they said when I was a baby, I would go over and reach over and get in the turntable and start scratching and playing, wanting to always play music. But as far as really seriously DJing, it was my elementary school dances. I used to actually DJ at my elementary school dances. Yeah, I would actually have some friends and they'd come help me, and I had it was like it's like a stereo system. It'd have a turntable, have a cassette player on it, and then two speakers. So I'd have two people carry the speakers, and I'd carry that to school, and we rock it.
That's amazing. So you've always had like an ear for music.
Exactly.
And how to actually entertain a crowd.
Oh yeah.
It's amazing.
So it was, so then shortly after that, I would say I started doing my high school dances, and then from then I just really graduated. And then I had an opportunity to actually do a house music radio show with a couple of DJs from Bakersfield, the Baka Boyz. And they're kind of like brothers of mine. And they actually allowed me and a really good friend of mine named Anthony Dodd, which probably rings a bell. He was one of the people on the plane with the Leo.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Monty was actually telling me about that story, that DJ.
Yeah. So we used to have a show, and we used to call him Regis, and we'd play house music, and that was like in '86.
Whoa.
And that was on an AM radio station that the Baka Boyz had in Bakersfield.
So you've been playing for almost 40 years.
Yeah. House music. Yes.
Wow, that's amazing. When did you grow up hearing funk, disco, or soul in your household? Did you find your way to those sounds later, or was it early on?
My parents didn't really play a lot of. My mom was more on the gospel side, so she would play more of a gospel feel of music in the house. But when I got older, I was able to listen to radio, and I'd hear other, like when I'd go over to my aunt's house, they would be the ones that would play all the unworldly music, as they would say. Right. I would go there and enjoy, I'd learn and pick up things there. And then once I was in high school, I was able to make my way to the record stores there. Back then we didn't have internet. So it was definitely, you go into the record stores, pick your records out, and, that kind of thing like that. So,
is that how you were able to find this really cool connection of like gospel and house? Because I know when you use some of your sets, you tend to have a very good way of like blending. Like, is there a such thing as gospel house?
Yeah, there is.
Okay.
There is a genre. Well, there's not a genre, but we've created, everybody in the industry that listens to and produces that type of style of music, we have labeled gospel house. And as I know of right now, they are trying to get that added into a genre, because it's becoming such a big
it's part
field
of
right now.
It's part of soulful.
And then basically house music it is gospel.
Right.
Basically,
soulful, exactly.
Yeah, it's soulful. Definitely soulful, definitely gospel. If you listen to a lot of the songs and the lyrics, and it's all uplifting. So it's gospel, and it's just, I think, reaching people in a different direction or a different way than what going to church or doing it this way or listening to this. It's modernizing it, and it's bringing it into a place some people may think that's dark, and shedding a light in that place.
Yeah, because with soul music, would you say it definitely has a form of like uplifting your spirit?
Oh yeah,
right? Yeah.
Oh yes,
so
yes.
having a good little Karen Clark share behind it makes you really want to bring up tambourine.
Oh yeah, the Clark sisters. You can go on and on and on. There's so many, and like I said, right now the genre is getting huge, and it's all over the world.
Right.
A lot of the festivals. There's a couple of DJs that do a lot of the not raves, but more of the festival type situations, and their whole sets are gospel. So it's getting up there.
Right.
It's getting big, and I love it,
Right.
Yeah.
So really quick, was there ever a moment early on where you almost walked away from music? And if so, what kept you going?
I would have to say possibly after 9/11, how things just kind of... I had to take a break. I wanted to just kind of sit down, evaluate myself, and just kind of, at that time, that's right after I lost my two friends on the plane with the Leah.
Right.
And then 9/11 happened, and I was just like, okay, it's time to sit down for a minute and just kind of reevaluate what I really wanted to do in life. So then at that point, I was living in LA, and then I moved back to Bakersfield.
Okay.
And once I moved back to Bakersfield, I just kind of needed some time, and I opened up a record store there.
You still have it?
No, I don't have the store anymore. I actually got rid of the store.
So where are all the records?
I sold them.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I sold them. Gave a lot of them away. So yeah, but it was a lot. And then actually, I had a friend of mine who owns a record store in Bakersfield. So what he wanted to do was move his store into where I was, since I had all the fixtures. So I just go ahead, do it. So
that's actually amazing. I didn't know that about you. You owned a record store.
Had a record store.
And then what made you come back to DJing then?
I think after some time, I stayed in Bakersfield for about 11, 12 years. And then after I left Bakersfield, I came back to LA. And then at that time, I just kind of seen how the scene was. And it was just kind of dead as far as house music. There was like maybe, you could catch maybe 1 or 2 events a month. And that was just period. There was, not in the gay side or the straight world or whatever.
Just a genre in
so
general.
I got back, and then I was like, I really wanted to get into production. I had done some stuff before, but I was like, I really want to seriously get into it, start a label, and, feature different artists. Yeah. So that's what I did. When I got back, 2011, I started the label, Qubonix, and featured a lot of different artists on there, and had the opportunity to work with some really good artists as well, too.
Really getting to know a lot about you. You own a record store, own a record label. You kind of done it all. I love that.
Yeah, doing it all.
I love that. I love that. Now, before we get into how your influences show up in your sound today, I want to talk about the history of house music here in LA.
Okay.
A scene that doesn't always get the spotlight, but has a deep legacy of its own, would you say?
Yes, I would definitely say that. When I first moved, I moved to LA in 1986. And when I moved here, there were very few places you could go to. The Catch One with Billy Long was one of the DJs. There was a DJ by the name of Michael Yarn, who's an old school guy. He used to kill it in LA. And then there was Bobby Martin, who actually was a really great DJ. He played at the Horizon, and he used to kill it. I would come from Bakersfield to hear them play. And the only place that you could really even get house music at the time was there was a record store called Cut Above. And the only Latino guy that I know that was spinning it at the Circus was Frank Del Rio. And I used to go to his store, and I would go through, and he would have all the latest. Oh, you got to get this one. Oh, you got to get that one, And I would go, and he would always hook me up. And at that time, the only place that you could play that music, especially in Bakersfield, at that time I was still living there, was through the show that we were doing. It was like a 30-minute show each weekend, I think it was. I can't remember what day. But yeah, that's what was going on. So LA was very limited. And then once I moved here, I had a friend who said, would you ever want to move to LA and start working there? And I was like, yeah. So he was like, well, I have a friend. She does a show. I'm going to ask her, maybe she'll bring you in. And so he contacted her. Her name was Miss Laverne. And she was a drag queen, Mother Rose. I'm sure you probably heard of her. She's a legendary back in the day here in Los Angeles. And so she said, yeah, well, bring him in, and I'll try him out. And if he's not good, I'm going to read him. I went in and
satisfied.
Here I am today.
I love that.
Still here, yes.
I love that. So what do you think people miss or don't realize about the origins of LA house music scene?
I just think the true roots of it, they don't get what it's about. A lot of times people will go to a club and they'll just hear music and they'll dance, and they don't really understand what the origin, the meaning, the feeling of it, or, especially like the bigger festivals, you'll see a lot of DJs that do their thing, which is cool, but I just feel like you have to be in an environment like soul to really get it. You're just the people, the crowd, and the energy and the MC, and and you're really bringing it the way that I feel like it's no other.
Yeah. Even with the lights, I've realized that where we host at the Abbey, the lights, and the one thing that most house heads really love about that space is the sound.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
You can't touch it.
Yeah. They feel like that sound is what really brings that soul essence to the dance floor.
Oh, yeah, it definitely does.
It makes you not even want to have a section. You know what I'm saying? You know how, nowadays people are so into like VIP sections and stuff, but with the soul, people don't even want sections, they don't even want bottle service. They're right there.
They're just right there dancing.
And that sound is sitting right there.
Oh, that sound is amazing. Yeah. It's just perfect.
Who or what shaped your understanding of that sound? Were there any key clubs, DJs, or moments that anchored it for you?
Yeah, like I was saying, that definitely Frank Del Rio was one of the guys who, like I said, I would come and go into the store and he would show me, all the latest stuff. And, he kind of pushed me to, yeah, play this. This is, nobody else is doing it. You'll be the first, And at the time, like I said, the DJ at the Catch One, Billy Long, I would go and I would listen to him. And he was definitely a big inspiration on me. Definitely Michael Yarn and Bobby Martin, those two, they were like crazy on the turntables back in the day. So I used to really love listening to them. They were a big influence. And just, that was really the only way, because there wasn't really internet at that time. Right. So you couldn't go and listen to what the other DJs were doing unless some way you were able to find like a mixtape or something like that to where, and far in between in Bakersfield was very hard. So, but once I got to LA, I definitely was able to connect with more people, and you just, there was more people getting into the scene, and then the scene just started opening up and getting bigger. Yeah. So
would you say that LA house music scene has its own identity from, like, let's say the East Coast?
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How so?
I think West Coast is a little bit more energy. East Coast, with the rare exception of there's a few DJs that are on the East Coast that really bring it, as far as when I say the energy level. Right. Here, I think it's a little bit more, it's boom, boom, there it's a little bit more vocally, kind of, laid back a little bit at some point. And, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's house music. So, and like, prime example, like if I'm DJing, a lot of times DJs will come up to me and they'll say, hey, what's that you're playing? And I'll tell them, and they'll be like, well, I have that same record, but what version is that? And I'll say, well, hey, it's the only version.
Do you give it to them?
No. Well, yeah. They have it. They'll be like, well, I have that record.
Right.
Well, why does it sound different than what I do? Well, it's a certain pulse and heartbeat behind the record that you put behind it, that you push it. And I just think like a lot of the DJs here on the West Coast kind of have that energy where we've always been up there, and I just feel like we lead kind of in that way as far as it comes when it,
Would you say that the East Coast had like they're more of that underground, like that tempo or that sound?
I would say to a certain extent, yeah, they do. I mean, the East Coast always pretty much comes out before the West Coast, but now the West Coast is growing. Right, so we're learning more. Production wise, we're getting more production coming out of LA, as where before the only place that house music was really coming from was the East Coast. So now you've got artists here, you've got DJs here. So it's growing, and we have our own. I think we have our own style and our own sound.
I agree. I totally agree with you. Especially like now there's a new wave of house parties. Oh yeah, and it's good to see how every different party interprets their version of house music.
Right,
like Soul has its own identity, and every other party I've been to has its own identity to where you can experience something completely different.
Yes, exactly.
How do those early influences, especially funk and disco, show up in your sound today?
Oh yeah, I mean, that's what it really is. House music is funk and disco. That's where the roots originated from. I definitely get inspiration. I'll go and just pull out when I want to, especially when I'm producing, different, working on different productions. I'll go back and I'll listen to some old funk and just kind of see how they did the arrangements and what were the sounds they used and, the different breaks and all of that kind of things like that. And I definitely it influences me to do, put into my production when I do that. Listen,
you dissect.
Yeah, pretty much. It's all funk and it's all soul. That's what it is. Yeah. With gospel. Yeah. It's got that gospel in there. Yeah. Definitely.
I love that. How do you balance paying homage to these genres while still keeping your modern and evolving sound?
I think the main thing is just staying true to the roots of what house music is. Yeah. Just staying, what people like, what what they want, and just being true to myself as well when I do a production. You know, I feel like, okay, well, this is something I feel the world needs to hear. For a while, I had a problem because I wanted to sound like this person, or I wanted it to be like this person or that. But then I had to grow out of that and just say, okay, well, this is my art. This is how I'm going to do it. This is how I'm going to put it out. So if people like it, that's wonderful. If they don't like it, that's fine too. But I'm expressing myself in art in a way and still keeping on track with, you know, what house music is about, you know, not losing touch with that.
Yeah, with your essence, the fact that you already have the true essence of house music and you still keep your ears to the streets is easier for you to kind of, you know what I'm saying, kind of sample that, but still making them understand where it came from.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And you're great at that, actually.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
For sure, for sure. Now let's talk about how that history translates to the dance floor today. What does it feel like when you drop something groove heavy and the crowd locks into it?
Oh, it's no better feeling. You like, I got him.
I got him.
I got him.
I got him.
You know, and it's like,
him.
and it's really good because, like I said, sometimes, like when I played at Soul, for instance, it's like there might be 5 people there, but they'll be on the floor. And then it's like, okay, got them.
Without no drinks in their hands.
Yeah.
You know,
and when I say that, I mean, you know, being there, or if, you know,
early,
the club, being there early, nobody's there yet.
We never have no empty club.
No, not at all.
But the one thing about it with you, that's why someone, like, to your point, I call those soul snatchers.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
you know
pretty
what
much.
I mean? Whereas, like, they're there, and once you got them, it's like, you got them.
You got them.
It'll be 5, and then before you know, you blink your eyes, 50, and before you know, it's 500.
Yeah, it's boom. Yeah, and it happens like that because you could be playing one song and then I'll turn around and then I'll look on the floor and then it's just, where do all these people come from?
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, do you ever notice certain audiences responding more to funk-inspired tracks or classic samples?
I would say both, pretty much. Yeah, they're pretty much both equally. Definitely if it's something familiar, you know, and which I try to stay away from the whole sampling thing, you know, which is to each his own. It's cool. A lot of people like doing that. But for me, you know, being a producer, I kind of want to put my own energy out into the world, and maybe someday somebody will sample me.
So
I try to, you know, and I don't want to step on anybody's toes, you know, but especially like in the ballroom community.
I was about to say, I'm pretty sure they sample you in the ballroom community.
Oh, not yet, but you know, eventually we'll see.
You've produced like some. Have you produced some mixes like in the ballroom scene?
I have. So, I'm working on some stuff now. I've worked with a couple of artists. So we're gonna get some things out. But yeah, I have some tracks that I play at the balls that I've done. You know, and like I said, the main thing is I just really try to do something more creatively that hasn't been done yet, but yet still keep that feel for the ballroom to where you keep their attention as well. So that's the main thing.
Now, what's the secret to getting people to feel something on the floor? Not just dance, but to really like connect.
The rhythm. I think the rhythm is important. The sound system, like you said earlier, is definitely important. Lighting is important too, you know, and the bar.
The bar definitely helps. Well, I would say that, but I think all of those things, to your point, kind of come first because I could be walking in at 10 p.m. and not have had a drink at all.
Yeah. That's true.
And still feel like, wait, hold on. I'm going to get my drink in a second now. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
This beat is knocking.
Yeah, definitely. I think basically more or less if the rhythm's there, and you can actually feel it, you know it's going to be a good night. Absolutely. You know, that's how I am. If I walk into a club and the system's pounding and the rhythm's right, you're like, oh, this is it.
Right.
You don't want to leave. You don't want to, you know, bar hop or do anything else. You just want to stay right there and enjoy the sounds.
Absolutely. And you do that well, very well.
Thank you.
Okay, now let's switch it up a bit and play a quick round that we call Drop It or Keep It.
Okay.
Disco edition. So I'll say a phrase or a trend.
Okay.
And you tell us whether you'll drop it or keep it.
Okay.
No explanations unless you want to add, you know what I'm saying, some heat or some flavor to it.
Okay, gotcha.
Drop it or keep it. Disco ball visuals.
Keep it.
Keep it. Okay. Extended intros, 2 minutes or more before the drop.
Keep it.
Keep it. Okay. Spinning a track you know will confuse the crowd just to see their reaction.
Drop it.
You dropped it. I want to know why I dropped that one.
Because sometimes you can kill a crowd.
You can kill a crowd.
You can kill a crowd and the main objective is you want to keep that crowd. You have to make sure it's something really, really familiar to the crowd and that they really, really actually know it, and to a point to where maybe even if they're singing along with it and then they know that what's coming. But if it's something that's not really too familiar and it's disco and it's an older, and especially with the younger crowd,
right? You can,
you'll be like, what is he? Yeah. What is he? They'll look at you like, what's going on?
Yeah, what's going on? Right. Okay. Let's see. Disco remixes that outshine the original.
Keep it.
Keep it.
Yeah, I'm open to new, versions of different things. There's some really good artists out there that do remakes of older disco songs, and actually some of them sound better than the originals.
And most times the newer cats don't even know where it came from.
Yeah, that's true. They don't even know that it was an older song.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's see. Playing a familiar song, but in a totally new key or tempo.
Nah, you can keep it if it's good, if it's done well.
You're a real good DJ if you're keeping all these things. Like, you know what? I always make it work.
Yeah, you make it work.
Let's see. We got one more. Okay. Retro fonts on flyers.
Dump it.
Dump it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Wait. So that was drop it or keep it. It wasn't too bad.
Well, yeah, drop it.
Yeah. It wasn't too bad.
Drop it.
Okay. Now that we've talked about the sound, let's go a little deeper into the meaning behind it.
Okay.
What do you hope people walk away with after hearing one of your amazing sets or productions?
I would say inspiration. Especially with house music, in this time and day, I would say hope. I think that's something that we need, and just good memories of a good time, of a good night.
I love hope.
Yeah,
that's a very good.
Got to keep hope alive. Definitely.
Yes, I love that.
Yes.
What part of your story as an artist and a Black DJ, or just Sidney Perry, still feels untold?
I would just say the history. My history and the history of house music, because a lot of people just don't know. They don't know how, where, when it started and who started it and where. And I just feel the true pioneers of it don't really get the homage that they should for the West Coast. The East Coast, those guys over there, who started it. It was Frankie Knuckles, or it was this one, or But here on the West Coast, they're like, I don't know who's who. So there's very few, and if you weren't really into that scene, you really don't know.
Right.
So I just feel like that's one of the things that definitely the story of that needs to be told, and then also of the clubs. There was a lot of clubs back in the day that a lot of people don't know that closed down, that were the originators of that. We had the Catch One, and then we had a club that was called the Horizon. There was the Caper Room in Inglewood that used to rock on Monday nights. It'd be packed. And then there was Foster's Penthouse, and that was like a hot spot for house music. So there's a lot of different places that used to really, go in back in the day that a lot of people don't.
And I think that even with the new generation, like, they don't even have a desire to even know where it originated from.
Yeah.
And especially with someone like yourself who has been so evolved, in the shaping of LA house music sounds.
Right.
There's a lot that is untold about you. So even like with this podcast is why we're doing this podcast, right? I think it's very beneficial for us to really, highlight and amplify those voices that really shaped the sound of LA, especially in the house genre, because hip hop, that could just go on and on.
Oh,
that never died, you know what I'm saying? But house music was like a niche, but you know what I'm saying? But it still is something that people, whether they realize it or not, you know what I'm saying, is something that makes them feel. Right. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's very important.
Yeah, and there's definitely a story there.
And you need your own documentary, and let me know.
Okay. Yeah, we'll work on that.
Okay.
I've been thinking about it, and I think it would be something great I would want to do.
Absolutely.
Yes.
All right, so one last question before we wrap, and this is a question that we ask all of our guests. If you could end every set for the rest of your career with just one track, what would it be and why?
Ooh. That I could end in every set. There's a song by an artist by the name of Brenda Russell. She's an old school that came out years ago, and she had a song that was called "Way Back When."
Okay.
And that song was is a really great song.
Okay.
That would be a song that I would end every night with because it really has a lot of meaning in the song, and I really like that song.
A meaning to you, or is it a meaning that you think that should be a message as people are like leaving the club or leaving the party?
I would say for everyone.
Yeah.
For everyone. Yeah.
Okay.
It's got a message for everyone. And it's you have to like listen to the song and just kind of check out the lyrics of it, the words of it. And she's singing, way back then, and she remembers, the magic and her friends and, and that's definitely what I want people to go home with was like, oh, that night was amazing. The magic. I remembered 10 years from now, we used to go to the Abbey, Brandon's spot at Soul and just the magic of it, and all of my friends were there, and it's just that kind of situation.
Is it a disco song or a funk song?
It's kind of a disco-y kind of, yeah.
Have you ever heard it in one of your sets at Soul?
No, probably not.
You gotta play it one night.
Okay, I'm gonna have to bust it out.
You gotta play it one night. Okay, so now we've heard your journey. Now it's time to feel your sound. Would you mind breaking us off with a good 15, 20-minute set of your own?
Absolutely. And it's what I'm going to do. I'm going to lace us with some new stuff that's not even out yet that I produced.
Oh,
so I'm going to do all production. I'm going to
Yes.
So we don't have to clear anything.
Right. I love exclusive.
Okay, right.
Okay, guys. So this is DJ Sidney Perry live in the mix right here in Soundcheck with Brandon Anthony.
Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Leave it on the runway. Breathe out. Breathe in, 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 breathe out. Runway. Then, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Runway. Breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out.